As a product owner, your responsibility is to keep a product the current. Requirements are kept typically in order list. This is very typical in Scrum. However, to find the focus on work that needs to be done, such a list can be pretty long, especially for more complex products. As a product owner, you are lost very soon. Therefore, you need to find out some other way how to keep your backlog organized. One of the techniques is called user story mapping, and it has been developed by Jeff Patton, which is a great form of requirements organization. It offers the possibility to break down large requirements epics into smaller user stories. It also supports possibility to order user stories in such an epic and to set up priorities this way. It is even possible to plan multiple releases and sprints at the same time. Because of usability of this technique, we decided to include it in ScrumDesk Start. So to start with, the first thing what you need to do is to click Story Map in ScrumDesk Start. You will see an empty desk which will have multiple columns. There is one special column, it's called Unassigned Epic. In ScrumDesk Start, the first row displays all the epics. Epics are the large requirements which needs to be broken down. Let's say that we are going to implement simple CRM system. So the first thing what we are going to do is to add multiple epics into it. Of course, our system should be focused on clients. So the first thing will be some client management. Then we are going to offer some products. Of course, these products we will want to sell, and therefore another part of the product will be concentrated on sales support. And the last thing will be maybe about invoicing. Maybe we decided that we need additional things as well, and one of them might be kind of task management. And as task management is maybe more important for the product at the beginning than sale, because there needs to be some task done before the sales is completed. Therefore, we can change the order of the epics based on the priorities according your requirements. What you can do as well is to change the color of the epic, and therefore you can have much better visibility in your product backlog, and you will be oriented much faster later when the product backlog will be very complex. So we created epics at the beginning. However, this is not enough. Typically the product grooming session, backlog grooming session, is done with all team members, and there are tons of ideas during it. You can enter them directly in ScrumDesk Start and organize these ideas into epics as well. So let's say that for the client management, the first thing what we need to do is to register new client. Maybe later you will need to also change details of such client records, and so the second, change clients details. And as this is CRM, we don't want to delete the data, we would like to just archive them, especially at the beginning. Maybe later we will add possibility to delete the data. During the brainstorming session, you will realize that it will be much easier to implement at the first permanent delete of data than archive of data. And you can change the priorities simply by drag and drop. Of course, you can add additional details like a user story format, set up priority, set up Moscow, business value, and others as well. But for the brainstorming session, especially when you are trying to organize your ideas, it is enough for now. Later we can concentrate on products, so we will need to register new product. This will be done by our sales department probably, and we can maybe organize these products into product categories. As we mentioned, we can change the order inside the epic, and also epics. User stories are moved with the epic as well. Such a map can be pretty large, but sometimes you need more details, and we implemented therefore a simple switch where you can change the number of details which are displayed on the card. It is not right now visible because we didn't assign a lot of information here, but later you will even see the status of the story. You will see who is working on it, and you will see also the time necessary to complete that user story. That way you can have the overall overview about the status of your product, and comparing to traditional backlog, it's not just the list of requirements which needs to be done, but you will also see a list of requirements which are already done in your product. So that might be a pretty huge map, and of course if you need, you can zoom out and zoom in using browser zoom menu, and ScrumDesk support this possibility as well. If you need, you can still filter your ideas. So if you need to see just ideas which needs to be done, which is typical Scrum backlog list, then just click this checkbox and you will see it, all the user stories. If you need to filter by release or by sprint, you have that possibility here as well. The great thing about this is you can even print out these ideas in the form of cards, physical cards, for your physical meeting with your team or even your stakeholders or clients. And therefore this way you can very easily as a product owner keep track and organize your backlog inside the tool, plus having it physically available for your team, which is quite handful, especially if you have dozens of team members in your team and you need to break down hundreds of requirements during product grooming sessions.